evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, Tennessee will appeal a federal ruling against the 2014 result of constitutional amendment vote that limited abortion rights. General Motors announced Wednesday the addition of nearly 800 jobs at their Spring Hill plant. Tullahoma crime statistics for 2015 have been released, and Tullahoma Utilities Board Chairman Brian Skelton will tell us about the creation of a new Tullahoma Utility Authority. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stanley Knapp Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stanley Knapp Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stanley Knapp Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what the difference our detail can make.
Honey, we know you've got friends in low places who aren't real big on social graces, and we're going to help you chase the blues away. So slip on down to see the tribute to Garth Brooks at Frazier McEwen Park, May 21st at 7 p.m. Immediately following the Grape and Grape Festival. Everything is going to be all right, and we're going to cause a big scene. So don't miss the dance, May 21st at 7 p.m. in Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Tennessee will appeal a federal ruling against the 2014 results of a constitutional amendment vote that limited abortion rights. The appeal puts on hold a recount of statewide votes cast during the controversial contest. The appeal of last week's decision by a federal judge ordering a recount says the amendment is a matter of state law to be determined by state courts. U.S. District Judge Kevin Sharp said the vote count approving the anti-abortion action was unfair and violates the U.S. Constitution. His order requires state election officials to only count abortion amendment votes that included votes in the governor's race as mandated by the Tennessee Constitution.
Task force appointed by House Speaker Beth Harwell to come up with a plan to expand access to health care in Tennessee has met for the first time. Harwell formed the task force earlier this month to propose what the Nashville Republican called conservative ideas, like encouraging greater responsibility for enrollees, creating health savings accounts, and providing more support for people trying to rejoin the workforce. State Democratic Party Chairwoman Mary Mancini last week criticized the panel as a political show after Republicans last year rejected Governor Bill Haslam's Insure Tennessee proposal to extend coverage to 280,000 low-income people in the state.
Governor Bill Haslam and Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development Commissioner Randy Boyd, along with General Motors officials, announced Wednesday the company will invest $788.7 million and create 781 new jobs for a new high-efficiency engine program and to modernize the vehicle programs at the company's Spring Hill manufacturing plant. The announcement brings GM's total investment in the Spring Hill plant in 2016 up to more than $936 million, including an expansion announced in February. The company has announced investments of over $2 billion for Spring Hill since 2010. Arvin Jones, General Manager of North America Manufacturing, said, quote, "This investment will position GM and its workforce as continued leaders in the powertrain manufacturing. Today's announcement reinforces our absolute faith in this facility and our strong commitment to the community and the state of Tennessee," end quote.
The number of high school graduates going straight into college jumped by 4.6 points in 2015, an unusually high increase that officials are tying to the rollout of the Tennessee Promise Scholarship Program. According to the data from the Tennessee Higher Education Commission, 62.5% of the 60,940 students who graduated from public high school last spring enrolled in college. That's up from 57.9% of high school graduates the year before. The change equates to about 4,000 additional high school graduates going into higher education year over year, according to Commission.
Mayor Lane Curley has proclaimed next week as Water Week in Tullahoma. The mayor read the proclamation at Monday night's city board meeting.
We're very pleased that Ms. Chelsea Adams is with us this evening, and as you know from looking at your agenda, this coming week is Drinking Water Week, whereas water is our most valuable natural resource, and whereas only tap water delivers public health protection, fire protection, support for our economy, and the quality of life we enjoy. And whereas any measure of a successful society, low mortality rates, economic growth, and diversity, productivity, and public safety are in some way related to access to safe water. And whereas we are all stewards of the water infrastructure upon which future generations depend, and whereas each citizen of our city is called upon to help protect our source waters from pollution, to practice water conservation, and to get involved in local water issues by getting to know their water. So I'm pleased to say that this coming week will be Water Week celebration, and I believe you got an announcement that you'd like to make as well.
Next Tuesday we'll be hosting our annual Water Week celebration at TUB 3 to 5:30. There will be free food. I think the fire department is providing a bounce house, so that's great for them to help us out as well. Games, there will be a prize wheel where you can win cash money giveaways, and it'll just be lots of fun and good fellowship, so come out if you're able to.
Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family is the largest automotive retailer in southern Middle Tennessee. With over 1,200 vehicles to choose from, we are your one-stop shop. Check out our awesome website, russellbarnett.com. There's over 1,200 vehicles to choose from. Stop by one of our 5 locations. That's Russell Barnett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Chevrolet GMC, and Ford of Winchester, or Russell Barnett Ford and Kia of Tullahoma. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Welcome back. Tom Corrigan recently spoke with Brian Skelton, General Manager of the Tullahoma Utilities Board, about the upcoming creation of a Tullahoma Utility Authority.
We're talking today, folks, with Brian Skelton, who is the General Manager of TUB. And he has the TUB board, and he have a project that's undergoing, and it's going to be a fairly significant one that we really don't hear very much about. So that's our purpose today, is to find out a little more about it. And so what is it you're trying to do, Brian, and how come?
Well, we're going through the process to become a utility authority instead of an independent board of the city as we are today. And this has been discussed by our board for several years because there are 3 other municipal utilities in the state who've already undergone this process, that being Jackson, Bolivar, and Brownsville. And we were interested in it and thought that with especially us being in the fiber business, and maybe one day there being the prospects of us being able to expand outside of our electric footprint, this would put us in a better position to be able to do that, and I can, of course, go through and explain some of the rationale behind that also.
Okay. Independent utility. Okay, and well, what's your status as we speak?
Well, our status right now is that the House side and the Senate side have both approved the private act. We had to put a couple of friendly amendments on the act itself just to solidify that we weren't trying to do an end around and be able to go outside of our electric footprint for fiber services, which the bill clearly said that we would follow state law, but some of the folks in the phone business and cable business wanted to make sure we weren't trying to do that. And so we agreed to those amendments, and everybody was fine with that. And what will happen now is it will go to the governor, and the governor hopefully will sign it. We anticipate that he will, and then it will come back to the City Board of Mayor and Aldermen sometime after that, and they will then take an official vote. That vote is the official one that counts, and it does have to pass by a supermajority for the authority to move forward.
Which in the city's case would be 5 out of the 7, I guess.
That's correct.
And well, and you had to have an initial city approval back in the fall. I guess the legislature says you got to show us that the city is okay with this.
Right. My understanding is with a local private act that you need to have your city endorse that and support it by a supermajority. And if you do, then generally the legislature will approve that unless there's some negativity to it associated that would cause harm to some group or the state. So. Okay. And we did go through that process. If I can circle back, what happened, again, our board had sort of been following this for several years and had anticipated that at some point we might ask the city, would they be interested in us pursuing becoming an authority, an independent utility authority. And so our board had looked at it, and we talked about it at a retreat we had last summer. And one thing that was sort of holding up or delaying it was the fact that when you become an authority, any debt that you have that's backed by the city, you will need to take care of that and take the responsibility off the city. And so our fiber bonds are not callable till next summer, July of 2017. But you can advance refund those and go ahead and do the financing and be prepared that when they're callable, just pay them off and you'll have your other loan ready to go. So that's what we're planning on doing. So our board made the decision that we wanted to consider doing an authority. We had someone from a financial advisor who works with municipals. They came and talked to our board. We also had a former
state group that advises cities and counties.
Well, no, this is an independent. This is a financial advisor that works with cities to issue bonds. And so they had been through that experience with one of the other cities who had gone through becoming an authority. And so they came down and met with our board. And we also had a former general manager of the utility in Jackson that had gone through this process. And they're other than being larger than us, they're very much like us in the fact they have electric, water, sewer, and fiber also. And so our board liked what they heard, and so our board voted unanimously to move forward and pursue that. And we had conversations with Mayor Curley and told him of our thoughts and the advantages of that the city would receive out of this if we went through the process. And Mayor Curley was supportive of moving that forward, and we then went and talked to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and they unanimously approved this. And this was back in the fall, as you said.
Yeah.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell brought the Board of Mayor and Aldermen up to date on the recently released 2015 crime statistics at their meeting on Monday night.
Some people would say, how do you have good news when you're talking about crime stats? But I think after we complete this, you'll agree that these are pretty good statistical numbers for what we have to deal with. The good news, we're on a steady decline. This year, our crime rate is 8,736 per 100,000 people. There's a standard formula that the TBI uses, so whether your population is 19,000 like us or if you're 90,000, the formula still works regardless of your population. You'll see that we started in 2006 and we were at 11,359. So over the course of 10 years, we've been pretty much on a steady decline. In 2002, the state began this system that we called IBRS, I-B-R-S, Incident-Based Reporting System. So the documentation actually goes back to 2002. The next one is actually a breakdown. Our crime stats are broken down into 3 groups: crimes against persons, crimes against property, crimes against society, which comes out to a total of Group A offenses. Many years ago, before this IBRS system, we used what was called the UCR, Uniform Crime Report, and the FBI used terms like index crimes. But now we use IBRS, which encompasses a whole bunch of different offenses. You'll see that we're using 2012 to 2015 comparisons. For 2015, our crimes against persons went up 8%, but of course our crimes against property went down 15%. Crimes against society down 26%, for an overall reduction of 12%. The next graph, it breaks it down into the specific offenses. You'll see that in 2015 we had 1 death that was associated with criminal activity, and that was what was called NAS, neonatal abstinence syndrome, in which a baby is born addicted to methamphetamines or opioids. The baby did die, and the mother is being prosecuted. We're the first in the state to charge somebody with this offense. So a lot of people are watching how this goes through the process. You'll see the associated increases, decreases, infinity. You all have that in front of you, but again, that reflects overall a 7.81% increase in those crimes against persons, a total of 37 offenses from last year. Next one, we talked about crimes against property. These would be the non-persons related, and this is one we showed a decrease of 15.48%. And again, you can look at all the different ones and see how they increased or decreased it and what the associated percentage is. The next one is our crimes against society. Same thing applies. Comparison of the 4 years, the overall 26.43 reduction. And again, the difference is how they were affected with each offense. Our number of weapons offenses has gone down. Those are arrests in which a weapon was found by the officers. It could be a gun, a knife, a club, an axe, various things. So we're seeing those numbers go down. The last one is the clearance rate. How many are we successful at finding the culprit? And last year we had 51%, this year 45%. We've exceeded the state average. And finally, what our data sources are, our management system and the IBRS system. And then finally, some definitions of the offenses that are listed in here. So at this point, I would open it up to any kind of questions.
Well, I think the reduction begs the question, to what do you attribute the reduction to?
I think it's the cooperation and the partnership between the community, the police, and our non-governmental organizations. Several of these offenses, there's still room for improvement, like our thefts from vehicles. Over 75% of the thefts have been from unlocked vehicles. If we could get people to lock their vehicles, we could see that number go down dramatically. Domestic violence, we have to continue to get the word out that people do not have to live in domestic violence situations. Over 50% of our assaults, aggravated and simple assaults, were domestic related, and that's about statewide. So we have to continue to let people know there are resources, there's assistance, and the judicial system's available to help anyone that believes they're trapped in that type of relationship. But I think a partnership between all of us, trying to work together. We try to encourage people, if you see something that doesn't look right, call us, let us go out and investigate it. If your gut tells you something's wrong, go with your gut feeling. It's generally something to be concerned with. So we believe that we can continue to see this decline by the partnerships that we're having with the community.
We'll be right back in a moment.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation!
It's gotta be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Fran Gray from the South Jackson Civic Center stopped by our studios earlier this week to tell us about a fundraising effort for this center coming up this Tuesday.
I am very happy to talk about the Big Payback. This is the third year of the Big Payback, which is put on by the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. And it's a wonderful organization. They support nonprofits all across Middle Tennessee. And on the May 3rd, the Big Payback, individuals will have an opportunity to give online. Now, the Big Payback is a 24-hour period. It will begin at 12 a.m. on May 3rd.
Right.
And it will go for 24 hours until midnight.
So that's from midnight to midnight.
That's right.
On the 3rd.
That's right.
Okay.
And we will be, among many organizations who are participating, we will be at headquarters at South Jackson, where we will be receiving gifts. Not everyone gives online, not everyone has a computer. And if somebody wants to give, they can designate their gift to the Big Payback, and we can enter it online during that 24-hour period. So, like my mother, she does not have a computer. She tried it one time and loved it because there was a .com. She said, "Oh, it's named for me." But aside from that, she has said, "I want to make a gift on the Big Payback Day." So she will give us a check, and then we will enter it with her name. The idea is that people can think about giving in a very significant way that day. And there are several organizations in town that are participating, and we want citizens to give. And of course, we are all about South Jackson Civic Center and the arts, but there are many others very worthy and very much in need of help. So I don't want to discount those. But we're going to be in the office from midnight to midnight receiving gifts. During this period of time, there are special incentive hours, and between 2:30 and 3:30 a.m. we're going to work very hard to get as many new unique donors into the Big Payback. So if somebody wanted to make a gift that we could enter any time, we could probably do it during that 2:30 to 3:30 time, because the organization that has the most unique entries will get a bonus gift. There are large organizations which underwrite the Big Payback.
Right. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, they underwrite the Big Payback, and they also make gifts for the incentives.
Right.
So I do want to say that we're divided by budget. So there are small budgets, which we're in, and then larger budgets.
Right.
So we will be competing with those organizations that have a smaller budget. Okay?
Yes.
And then if we win a prize, these backers who have donated will supply the resources for the incentive gifts. So we will be working, and we're going to have some special visitors in the afternoon, and there are people who may want to come and have their picture made on the campus. Which brings me to one other thing. Our alumni president, Alan Harris, has issued a challenge along with Aunt Cersei. My Aunt Cersei Hopkins is, as far as we know, the oldest alumni of South Jackson Street School.
The
oldest living alum. And the school building itself was first built 130 years ago. And so we're challenging people to give $130 to celebrate the construction of the school, a place we love, the place we want to keep viable and exciting in our community. It's one of the few historic places left in Tullahoma of its age, and we want to keep it dry and safe and
standing.
Yes, sir. So we're working to raise money for that historic place.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a playful beagle mixed puppy named Rogue. She entered the shelter as a stray earlier this month and is approximately 6 years old. Rogue is up to date on his vaccinations. Heartworm negative, weighs about 30 pounds, and will receive a free neuter provided by the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. He is good with other dogs and children. Be sure to check out the shelter on Facebook for information about upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Cooper. Cooper is a lab mix who is a big cuddly boy looking for a forever home. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made at the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252 in Manchester. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
And we'll be right back in just a moment with your weather forecast.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with our weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1957 at 86 degrees. The record low was in 1928 at 32 degrees. The average high on this day is 74 and the average low is 50. Tonight, look for mostly clear weather with a low of around 58. Partly cloudy weather in the forecast for Friday with a high of 82 and a low of 58, and some storms in the forecast for Saturday with a high of 76 and a low of 63. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6, wishes you and your families a wonderful weekend. Thank you.